I am going to show you why being bold, taking bold steps, taking bold risk can help you turn your life around in 2021 and beyond. My name is Dimitri. This is Mountain of Inspiration. If this is your first time landing on our channel, welcome. Take the time to actually subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so that the next time we have a new episode, a new show, you can be the first one to actually see what we are actually going to publish. I'm going to start with just two examples, two basic stories that can help illustrate what I'm trying to say. Let me just start with the oldest one. On December 1st, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, somewhere in the United States of America, a young woman who was at the time only 42 years old was coming back from work around 6 o'clock in the evening. She was maybe a little bit, not so much tired physically, but she just came from a very long shift and very long day. She decided to board the bus, and she got on the bus and was sitting in a section that was actually reserved for the people of her kind, the colored people. But around one time, the bus driver, by the name of, I believe, James Blake, realizes that there are a few Caucasian people actually standing in the middle of the bus. And of course, according to the 1900 city law, that municipal law that actually gave the bus drivers the authority and the permission and the right to stand up, to stop the bus and go ask the colored people to actually stand, to vacate the seat for the Caucasian passengers. The bus driver then decided to stop the bus and go to the bunch of people, colored people that were sitting there, ask them to move so they could actually make room for the Caucasian passengers. Out of 4 people, 3 people decided to move. The last one, this young woman, Rosa Parks, decided that day that she was not going to move. She was not going to give up her seat so that another passenger could actually take her seat. She refused to move. December 1st, 1955, the confrontation led to her arrest. The police officer came and they took her away, and she got eventually arrested, and it led to whatever it led. But when she did that, she had absolutely zero clue, zero guarantee at the time that the community of African American in Montgomery, Alberta, and the rest of America was going to come and rally around a cause. She had no clue that the city of Montgomery, Alberta, the 75% of the black people that made the ridership for this bus company were going to say, enough is enough. We're actually going to stand by our sister. We're going to stand by our mother. We're going to stand by our daughter. Enough is enough. We're going to boycott the bus system in Montgomery, Alabama. She had absolutely no guarantee. She had absolutely zero clue. It was just an act of boldness, a big risk she took that could have led to any kind of crazy situation for her, but she was just bold that one evening to simply say, enough is enough. I am not moving. You do your best. You do your worst. I'm not moving. That's what I call bold step, bold risk. And this is the kind of bold risk that all of us in this season, in 2021 and beyond, all of us in this season need to start taking when it comes to our lives if we truly want to see a change in our lives. I like this young man who just passed away just a few months ago, Yubong King, a motivational speaker out of the country of Nigeria. He has this amazing saying that he used to actually share. If you want to get out of trouble, guess what? Get yourself into trouble. I thought that was crazy. If you want to get yourself out of trouble, get yourself precisely in trouble. I don't know, but back then, Rosa Parks, we did not know this young man, Yubong King, saying she already internalized that belief that in order for her to get out of the trouble of having to vacate a seat for another passenger after a long day of work, the only way for her to get out of trouble was to get herself into trouble. And guess what? She did that, and that trouble is precisely what helped her and helped the community create what they needed in order for them to get out of that situation. That was in 1955, December 1st, 1955. That was a long time ago. Someone might say, that's history. We all know that. Let me just fast forward now to 1995. June 1995 in South Africa. In South Africa, there was the World Cup for the rugby. All the greatest players, all the greatest teams, the rugby teams around the world came to South Africa to play in South Africa. That was the first year when Nelson Mandela, as an freshly elected president, was actually going to see what was going to happen around this country. His country, as I was saying yesterday, most of the black people from South Africa, they were supporting and they were rooting for any other team but their own local teams. Why? Because when they look at the green jersey from the local rugby team, to them it represented everything that actually had oppressed them for all this time until 1994. So they refused to actually associate themselves with that just token. They refused to actually associate themselves with this symbol of oppression. So they refused. They were rooting for all other teams. And guess what? In 1995, precisely, when England, one of the top favorite teams around the time, also went to South Africa, it came to a point where they had to face and they had to play against another team. The team called the All Blacks out of New Zealand, led by a young but extremely powerful young man by the name of Jonah Lomu, 6'5", tremendous tower of power, tremendous tower of poise, tremendous tower of, he was a bulldozer. When they play against England, guess what happened? This young man single-handedly destroyed England. He destroyed England and got all of South Africa, all the black South Africa to simply erupt in cheers. Say, oh my goodness, finally, someone who looks like us, closely at least. And the team that called itself All Blacks is actually going to win the World Cup and beat our local Springboks. So they were all excited. The day of the game, in June 1995, when finally the finals, they realized it was going to be between South Africa and New Zealand. Jonah Lomu against the local South Africans. The black South African was still rallying for New Zealand. They got into the stadium, and by all accounts, everyone was expecting the New Zealand to actually come and also crush and destroy South Africa. Nelson Mandela, as a president, he knew what was happening in the background, but he showed up to the stadium wearing number 6 on the back of his jersey. And the jersey he was wearing was not a jersey representing the New Zealand. It was a jersey representing his own country. The green Springboks jersey he was wearing. As he got into the stadium, people were a bit shocked because they said to themselves, number one, we know that 99% of the blacks are not for Springboks. Number one. Number two, we all know that New Zealand is too powerful and they could potentially crush our local people. So if they crush South Africa, and South Africa is actually defeated, but why did this president decide to actually take this huge risk of actually showing up to the stadium wearing this jersey, number 6? So everybody was actually watching. The game was actually played. The South Africans showed heart. They showed the heart of champions. They decided that yes, on their own turf, they're going to find a way to actually win. And they just did exactly that. They actually did come back from beyond and actually defeat the mighty New Zealanders. They won. After they won, Nelson Mandela took a second risk. He decided to actually go into the stadium that was actually attended mostly by Caucasians from South Africa. He decided to actually go into the stadium. So as he's going to the stadium and people actually realize that yes, this is the newly elected president of South Africa, he's actually walking onto the stadium. He's actually walking into the field to actually greet the champions. They're saying to themselves, oh my goodness, how is he going to be embraced by these people? Is he going to be embraced or rejected? What is going to be the reaction of all these people? That was the second risk, but he got them. Charismatic Nelson Mandela. As soon as the people saw him, one by one they started chanting, Nelson, 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 and the crowd grew louder. Why? Because they realized that the risk that this young man, old man at the time of course, took was a tremendous risk, and they were so appreciative of the fact that yes, this was a president, a leader who was actually willing to actually rally the troops around one single vision and one single destiny. So they erupted in cheers, and they finally realized that yes, this was the beginning of the end of some era and the beginning of a brand new era for the whole country. Why did I use these two examples? December 1st, 1955. And June 1995 in South Africa. Why? To simply show one thing. When you and I, especially you, because it's about you, you decide to take bold step, you decide to take risk in whatever you're doing, what you're actually doing is you're actually creating a momentum. Number one. Number two, you're making believers around you. Because Rosa Parks, when she did that in 1955 back in Montgomery, Alberta, she made believers. The boldness that she demonstrated, she led to a momentum, and the momentum actually led people to actually believe in her. Believers. And number three, with this army of believers, then all things become possible because the momentum that they're going to bring. That's how, as a nation and as one group, people come to then move mountains, and that's exactly what you and I need to do in this season. 2021 can be precisely one of the best, if not the best year of your life. And I strongly believe that. But only if you be willing to do like a Rosa Parks, to do like a Nelson Mandela. Take bold steps in whatever you are doing. Whatever business you actually want to actually jump in, be bold. Take bold steps. Take the biggest risk possible. Why? Because if you want to get yourself out of trouble, the only way to get out of trouble will be to get into trouble. And trouble simply means trouble. Trouble means going beyond the comfort zone, going beyond what you believe is humanly possible. Oh my goodness, I feel so excited myself. I feel so pumped just after talking to you. Because when I look at the books of history, I don't just read history as a book, as a dead book about people who are dead. I read books because I want to put myself in their position. I want to actually get into the psyche, see exactly what they were actually see history and life through their eyes. And when I look at Mandela, when I look at Rosa Parks, all I see is a surge of energy, a surge, a desire to take bold steps, a desire to take risk like I've never done before, because I realized that, you know what, this life is too short and it's too boring for us to actually just live life like the rest of the people around us. And the only way to stand out is by taking bold steps in our personal lives to actually create a momentum, make believers, and together to go move mountains. All right? I'm going to stop here for now. I'm so excited for you because I can see great things happening already in your life after this message. I can see you taking bold steps. I can see you taking risks like you've never taken before. I'll stop here for now. Thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure you do three things. Number one, like this video. Number two, leave a comment in the comment section. Number three, if you've not already done so, please subscribe. Get your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, anyone that you may know to get to visit our channel and get them also to subscribe. Why? Because we want to grow together as a tribe, as a community, and make great things happen in 2021 and beyond. How? By being bold, by taking bold steps, and by taking risks, by understanding that the only way to get out of trouble will be to get ourselves into trouble by actually deciding to do precisely the things that everyone around us say that we should not be doing. Okay, thanks again for watching. I'll stop here for now, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you in the next few days. Until then, take good care and remember to be safe. This is Dimitri, Mountain of Inspiration from Toronto. Take good care. Be safe.